Hello, my name is Kevin and welcome to Love Decanters channel. So this is going to be a bit of a good film here because it's for Hemswell Cliff Antiques Centre. Now this is the biggest antique centre in Europe. Now the biggest antique centre near where I live is Brackley Antique Centre, which is supposed to be the biggest antique centre in the East Midlands. So Hemswell is 4 buildings which are each as big as Brackley Antique Centre. Also, there are other antique centres there as well. I'm not sure you could do it all in a day if you started early at opening. And so I just filmed one building out of, I think, probably 7. I think there might be 8. It's a big job, and this is going to be an epic because there's so much nice glass. I've got some really nice old glass, some really fancy modern glass. Yeah, it's lovely. Strangely, I didn't buy anything this time. Now I was there about a month or so before this because it's actually not too far away from my route from where I live to where my son lives, so it's kind of like just a little deviation. It's just the fact that it's quite a long deviation if you start poking through these buildings. So when I was there a few weeks before and I did actually go through the building that I filmed in, I did buy several things, and we spent, I think we spent probably near £200, but not all of it on glass. I did buy the nicest thing I think I bought was this lovely decanter here. So it's not a full size decanter. I think it's an Anglo-Irish one from the probably 1820s. It's really nice. Yeah, and I think I paid 23 for it. So yeah, to me, a bargain because it is, the pattern is cool. Isn't that good? So anyway, yeah, I don't know how many parts there is. I've done about 50 bits of film, and I've got up to time to do one film. So I'll just keep going, churning out part 1, part 2, part 3, maybe part 4. I'm not sure. Anyway, with that said, let's get on with the film. So today I'm here at Hemswell Cliff in Lincolnshire, and this is the biggest antique centre in Europe. Now there's this building here, so this is all part of Hemswell Antiques Centre, and there's a building over there, you can't see it over there over my shoulder, and then there's a building over that way, that's another part of Hemswell Cliff Antique Centre, and there's a building that's over there somewhere as part of antique, and then in addition to that just being the biggest antique centre in Europe, there's another antique centre just, I can't get my finger in, over there, just opposite, and I know that there are 2 more buildings behind that, and I know that there's another one over that way. So yeah, it's just like Antique Centre Disneyland around here. Anyway, they've kindly given me permission to come in and film, so yeah, let's get on with this. So just come in the entrance, and a couple of really interesting bits of glass here. Nice piece of Kralik, I think that is. It's Bohemian anyway at the least. I think they're probably dating it about right. That's really nice, and the price is £28. So that's quite a nice piece. So I went to Kralik Pearl Glass, and so this is what I found. You can see it's this kind of texture. There isn't one the exact same shape that I can find, but one of the things that you will find is when I looked over the top of the bowl and looked down inside it, I could see the texture went all the way to the center. It didn't look like there was a pontle mark. So if I scroll down here, we will see a few bottoms. Yeah, well, this one does have a pontle, but most of them don't, like this. Look at that. pattern just goes into the middle. So I find another one. This one here is different pattern. Yeah, right into the middle. So find another one. So yeah, here's another. Oh, this one's got a bit of a pontle. It's like scuffed. Yeah, there you go. So some of them do, but quite a lot of them don't have a pontle. Is this one we've seen already? I think that's one we've seen already. There will be more. You can see no pontle. The pattern goes into the middle. Oh, there's another one. There you go. So there you go. That's one of the features you want to, when you're looking at this pearl glass like this with these textures on. A lot of them, they're blown into mould. There's no, and I don't know how they do it. They must be grabbing them with some tool or something, but there's no pontle. So yeah, that's just a little feature that you can look out for. And then right next to it, a piece of American carnival glass. They've said Lotus and Dragon. I think this is Fenton, but we can look it up. I've seen it before and figure that one out. So come to David Doty's website here. This is the one that's good for finding patterns. And yeah, it is Dragon and Lotus by Fenton. Just so you see what I mean by finding patterns. Yeah, you can just scroll. Yeah, that's all I did. I knew it was Dragon Lotus, so I knew I just needed to get to here. But yeah, you can just scroll, just keep looking. And also it breaks down. If I go back again, you can see, you just go to bowls and plates and just go through it. You know, there's one, I think there's one from vases, there you go. So yeah, you can scroll by any of these types of things to help you find it. Anyway, I then went to Carnival Glass, which gives you imprecise dates, because David Doty doesn't give you any dates, and they're saying made in the early 1900s, which in my book means before 1950, which is not really very good, but I would hope early 1900s really means pre-1925 or something like that. But anyway, you also hear, so I picked the one, there's several for sale. This is the one that looked closest to the one we're looking. And again, you've got this American price here, $175, nothing like the UK prices. Here's a nice little piece in this little tiny room, little side room. Another sort of like late Victorian to pre-war posey bowl. Looks very bohemian. What's nice is it's still got the metal top. Quite often they got rusty and chucked away. Yeah. One thing I should point out, if you see a price tag with the T3 it says, okay, so it says 38, but it says T3, and that usually means trade £3. If you know that, you can ask for it off. So I punched a Kralik green glass bowl into Bing, and it failed me rather badly. There is one here that looks like it should have had a metal top on it. Yeah, this lip here is the kind that you'd get where a metal lid would go on there with a grill in it that you'd put your little flowers in. So this is a bit of a failure. So what I thought I'd take an approach from another direction. So I went to 20th century glass, and yeah, so I thought, let's have a look at the posy bowls in here for Kralik. Well, I've done pearl glass here actually, but anyway, regardless. Look at the little metal grills, and I think there's more on the next page. This page here. You see several of these. shape wise, this is probably most similar. So we'll have a look at it. And what's nice about this is if they give you a detailed picture of the top, and if you look at the way the top is constructed, where it's just punched out and pressed into the shape, yeah, that's very like the top that we were looking at. So yeah, I'm kind of reasonably comfortable that that's what this is. It might not be, but I think on the whole, this is the kind of item it was. So here's a really nice cabinet with some really nice high-end Scandinavian glass. First of all, if I can find my finger, yes, Orifer's gral bowl, really difficult to make. They blow it, and I think they acid etch away the, it's cased, and they acid etch away to show you the fish and everything, and they reheat it again and case it again and blow it a bit more, and it gives everything a slightly distorted under the water look to it. So yeah, very difficult, probably have masses of failures in making it, and it's, yeah, £950, which is to be expected. The book I'm looking at is 20th Century Glass by Judith Miller. And yeah, so here we have with a gral vase. The designer is Edvard Hald, and yeah, the date on this one is 1937. Now they're giving prices in here, £600 to £800, but remember this book is from 2004. I've got a couple more here. Round one, which is a bit more murky. So you've got this one here, which is 7 inches high. That's 500 to 700. Then you've got this one here. Yeah, and the different dates. You've got this one here is 1944. This one's 1938. 2 to 3,000. Don't know what makes it 2 to 3,000. It's a bit murkier and greener. But yeah, one of the other books was reiterating what I was explaining about how it's made, where they make case glass and they etch it away to make the fish drawings on the glass by etching away outer layers to create these pictures. And then they reheat the glass back up again, because you can't just bang it straight back into the furnace and cover it up. So they reheat it back to near melting, and then they put it back into the furnace and do another layer of glass on the outside once it's hot enough to do that. If you try to do that with it cold, it would probably just explode into a million pieces, but I'm sure it didn't always work. So yeah, so this is gral glass. Gral is named after the Holy Grail. It's supposed to be some sort of perfection in glass making. So yeah, that's why it's an expensive piece, because it's a difficult process. You've got the whole acid etching to make patterns and pictures, etc., etc. But then you reheat the glass, stick it back into the furnace and create another coating of glass on the outside, and then heat it enough so that you can blow it a bit more. Yeah. Tricky, tricky, tricky. The other thing I like here is this Valin Zoo collection of a ram. He's really cool. Yeah, but they really know what it is. It's £70. I think that's a rarer one. So yeah. So I jumped back to the Mother Sweden website here, which has various featured artists, and Bertil Valin is one of them. So there's a few other glass artists in there as well, if you wanted to go and have a look at this website. And it's not a ram, it's a goat. Yeah. So if you wanted one of these goats, how much would it cost? And the answer is you're bang out of luck. There aren't any. So this is eBay. There are no goats for sale. And the prices seem to vary. Here, some of them are cheaper. This is probably the biggest bargain. They've got 3. They've got a lion, an elephant, and a camel for £100. So, but then you'd end up buying 3. Add the postage on, so they're about £35 a piece. Cockerel's quite nice, but I think this is a smaller one. But that's £45. It's £95 for a hippo, £75 for a crocodile. The owl's cute, I like that, but I suspect I think this is a smaller one. Anyway, yeah, they're not cheap. They're not easy to find. I think they're from 1975. And not so keen on this, but another rare Bertel Valin piece. With a head, sculpted head. Let's see what else. I've not really looked too hard. What's here? More there's quite a lot of Costa Boda stuff here. Yeah, it's a bit overwhelming, really. That looks like Costa, but that says Mats Jonasson. I'll see if I can find that. I've never seen that before. So, yeah, a lot of these Costa Boda things, I've seen them in catalogues and things, or in books. What else is here? So this is interesting. Obviously it's a decanter, so it's always going to be interesting to me. This is designed by Eric Hogland. They've got it down here, £350. Now, the thing you need to watch out for is that a lot of these were made under license in America, and they're mold blown, the body's mold blown, so the arms are actually part of the body. These have been applied separately, and that's what you need to look for. Has the arms been applied separately? That's what makes it £350, because it's original, it's not just a later copy. So yeah, that is all good, that one. So here's a really nice piece of Murano. Looks like it's probably Salviati. I don't know, other people were making this kind of glass, but I think Salviati is the most prolific maker of it. It's really nice. Early 20th century. It's probably right. It doesn't look, I'm not certain it's Salviati. Something about it doesn't look the same. The glass looks a bit slicker than Salviati glass somehow. The Salviati stuff looks more matte. And there's this over here. I have no idea. It's probably Murano. Oh no, he's saying it's Salviati. Very nice. Not seen that before at all. I have been banging around on the internet trying to find if there are any Salviati. So the green glass that we saw first, I'm happy that looks very Salviati. It's very difficult to get an exact match because they changed the look and feel of what they did so often. But there's, you know, glasses like this and this. So with these fancy handles and everything. What I haven't been able to find is any Salviati glasses with cabochons. Cabochons are like little rounded jewels polished in the round as opposed to having facets. So that's what you'd call those little, well, it's this one here, but those are little applied blobs. I don't think those count. I'm looking for ones with little rounded jewels on them. The only one I've been able to find is actually the one that we saw, and it's actually on their website. So yeah, look, it's here. So that's the one we saw. That's the green one. I've also been looking for any Salviati catalogues. I've done that before. I still can't find anything. I did actually try really hard. I think, is it here? Yes. So Salviati's still going, and although they make modern glass, they're still making this glass that's influenced by the, you know, the 1400s and through to the 1600s and or so. Anyway, so they're still making this. Can you see here? Look, this is the kind of glass that the green one is. So these are a bit more. So they historically they had, you know, many more styles and designs and everything, but yeah, this is what they're making today. And you see they're quite fancy, just like that one we were looking at. Little features you can play. You see the little folded rim here. So the glass we were looking at also had a folded rim like that. Also had some gold leaf blown into it here. So you can see this bit here and this bit here. So not only did it have the fancy look, but there was other little features about it. And the modern ones, so the ones I have are older, but the more modern ones also have that a bit more shiny look to them. So I'm a bit less, what's the word, less skeptical than I was that it might not be Salviati. I'm leaning back towards, yeah, I've looked at these, looked at a few others, and I'm thinking, yeah, there's probably a pretty decent. This is without catalogues, you see. So but anyway, yeah, the one with the cabochons on, I'm still unsure of. I've never seen that before. It's a very nice glass. It might be Salviati. I haven't been able to find anything else that's like it. A couple more bits of Kralik. These are really nice. Yeah. You know, this is something that I know it from its look, but I don't really know that much about it. But we can have a look, see if I can figure anything out, see if we can find any catalogues or anything with this kind of thing in, so you can have a look. I'm looking at the 20th Century Glass website here. Now, because Kralik was making art glass, there's probably about 1 million different combinations, and try to find exact matches for things. Unless you've got a catalogue for every year, you're very unlikely to find them. So what I'm trying to find is elements of them that make you think, yes, this is what we're looking at. Now the green one, so we've got this one here where the texture on the bowl's different, and then the foot's a different colour. And then green and opalescent, they do use that together, but not in the way that it's being used there. Yeah, and the sort of like vertical striping texture, I can't see it here. So yeah, so you do get a feel for what you think is right. This has got a little bit of the vertical striping, or moulding, I should say. But yeah, so I had a look in the Kralik website, and for the other bowl I did find this one here. Now obviously the colours are wrong, but the texture's getting closer. The texture on the one had some of this honeycomb and then vertical patterning, but the foot is very similar to this. So I feel, yeah, I'm very comfortable with the other one with this honeycomb pattern on it. This is a, if I go back one, problem here is that there's like 1 million pages. The way this is split up, you can't just scroll and start looking. So if you go look at claw, this one here, you'll see there's like a bunch of, and then you've got this opalescent and green together, but not the way we were looking. Go back again. Is anything textured like what we were looking at? See, the problem is that underneath all of these patterns and everything, there might be a bowl. Oh, here's one. So this is, so the green one. The patterning on this one is like the green one. So I'm feeling comfortable that the textures that we've seen, we've found them in the Kralik website, and also the foot of one of them. So I'm feeling comfortable, and this color as well is the same as the green one. So the texture and color of this, obviously it doesn't have that top, it's got a foot underneath, but it's still, as I said, it's art glass, so they're gonna just reuse and change the elements around and chop and change, like. And also, although this is at the top, they're using it with opalescent as well. So yeah, I'm feeling more comfortable. So this is Art Nouveau glass. You're talking late 19th century, 19th century, early 20th century kind of glass. So yeah, this is what we were looking at. So I'm here on home turf here with some nice old English glass. So it's got double knot withen. So that's quite nice. It's got £95 on it, but if you look at it, it's not a standard size. If you compare it to the other one, see, it's quite a bit bigger. Yeah, it's got a nice conical foot, can you see? That's nice. I do quite like the one in the back though. So it's later style. That is quite a rare one. Yeah, that's very nice. The book we're looking at here is English Drinking Glasses by Ronald Gabriel. And yeah, so this is the glass I was thinking of. So you can see it's got the stem is the same. This one has a semi-writhen bowl, where the other one was, I think the bowl was a little bit taller, and it had the hops and barley engraving on it. But yeah, it has what's known as a capstan stem, where you've got a bladed knob in the middle, and then you've got this little bit here that sticks out just below the bowl. Can't remember what that's called, but anyway, this is the kind of thing we were looking at. This is a dwarf ale glass, just like that, and the date he's got here is 1820, which is about the middle of the date we were looking at. So you're probably talking maybe 1800, 1810 through to about the 1840s that this kind of capstan stem was in use, and it would come with different shapes of bowls. Some of them would be engraved, some of them would be cut, some of them, you know, some of the collar here would be really big comparatively. Yeah, so lots of different styles based on this basic form. Yeah, some of these things have got green dots on, can you see? And that means they can be bought online from Hemswell Cliff website. So yeah, if any of these things I'm looking at, if you see that on the label, you can see it's for sale online. Look at these nice Silesian stem, pan top, double OG says. Champagne glasses, they're very nice with folded feet. This is, oh, it says rare. I was going to say this is a really unusual slim. It's a ratafia glass. See that it's got a folded foot. You can't see it very well. Labels in a way. Quite like the air twist from the back. It's got that dated 1750. Yeah, these all look right. So the book I'm looking at here is 18th Century English Drinking Glasses by L.M. Bickerton. Yep, and I think this is the closest glass I think I found to the one we were looking at, or the pair that we were looking at. The date he's got is 1845, which matches exactly with the date on the glasses we were looking at. You would think he was reading this book, maybe. But anyway, yeah, I'll call it a Silesian stem. They call them pedestal stems, but also known as Silesian stems because this is a fashion that came in when George I came to the UK he's a Hanoverian, so he came from Germany, and this stem became fashionable following him. So, yep, this is the kind of glass it is. Should also point out, yeah, it has what's known as a domed foot and a folded foot as well. So it's domed and folded, which means that the rim of the foot has been folded in on itself underneath. So if you put your thumb underneath it and pull it, you'll feel the edge of that. Some really nice. There's a pair here, which is why the price is £995. They're very nice little cordial glasses. Very nice. 1740, anything with a folded foot. Very nice. Yeah. What we're looking at here is 18th century English drinking glasses by L.M. Bickerton. And yeah, so I think this is the closest glasses I can find. The bowl is proportionally a little bit bigger. So it's a wine glass. There's no engraving on it, but it's got a single ball knob, conical foot that's folded. Dated here has got 1750. So yeah, that ties in with what he's saying roughly. You can never find an exact match for these things because they're always chopping and changing around. But anyway, yeah, I think he's looking fairly spot on for the dates he's got there. So let's move on. This is nice as well. There's another little cordial glass here. And oh God, he's got so many nice glasses here. We will go through it slowly. I'm still with L.M. Bickerton. I found this glass here, which is kind of, if you were to take that knop out of there, it would be like the one we were looking at, or if you were to shove it up into the middle, it would be looking like the pair that we were looking at. And yeah, the date he's got on here, 1740. So yeah, we're still, as I said, I've just found another example that's close-ish, but not the same, but it's still sticking with those dates. And what I will do is I'll pull out my L.M. Bickerton and show you. Still with L.M. Bickerton, and does it have a glass with hexagonal faceted stem, with a bucket bowl, with some gadroon moulding? No, of course not. So anyway, I'll pick this glass out here. I think this is similar. This is a hexagonal faceted stem in that the little cuts are hexagon shaped, sort of like on their sides. Some of them are like little diamonds, but anyway, this is the kind of glass it is. You've got some other moulded ones. The date he had was 1770, but these are all dated 1785. So yeah, I'm a bit less certain of that. But anyway, it is of this type of glass because it's got these hexagonal faceted stems, and that's the time period that Bickerton's saying they fit into. Oh, yeah, I've got one of these. Dun, 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 just like that, because it's really plain and you can get away buying something cheap when nobody spots it. But that looks like a proper price, so yeah. We'll go down another level now. So still with L.M. Bickerton, as I promised. So I do have a bucket bowl wine glass with an opaque stem, opaque twist stem, and it's a 2-ply. Doesn't look the same, I think, and also the foot on this sits flatter now. The date he's got here is 1770. These opaque twists go back to 1760. He's got 1760 on his. Looking back through the timeline in here, I think his is earlier. The foot on his is more conical. The twist looks different, looks more like the ones from that he's dating as 1865. It might be 1765. It might be 1760. Looking at this one and some of the others, it does feel earlier. So I'm quite happy with 1760 on that one. It's a very nice one. His one's lovely, got lovely engraving around the top. This one doesn't. So yeah, that's quite a nice glass. I thought I'd pick that one out as the last one on that shelf. He's got some copies here. He's acknowledged that they are copies. If you look at them compared to the others, the glass is too clean, too nice. There's no bubbles, there's not much striations or anything. These ones don't, not all Georgian glasses have folded feet, but they don't have folded feet. They just look too nicely made. Alexandra, I've seen this before, this glass somewhere. My brain's failing me. I can't think where. And then you've got a couple of rummers here. They look quite nice. And you've got a Toastmasters glass there. Can you see with a deceptive bowl? So the bowl is actually quite thick, so you don't actually get much drink in it, although the reflection inside makes it look like there's more drink in it than there is. So that's quite a cute thing. And now we go off into a rather rarefied world that I don't know much about. I know these names. I've seen stuff like this in books. But yeah. Christian Leone glasses. They're German. Younger still. And we can have a look in the books. I've got some Wiener Werkstatt books. We'll have a look. Yeah, that's nice as well. Same. Something a bit like hot glasses. So this book is called Art Nouveau by Gabriele Fahr-Becker. And yeah, so I've been reading up on Hans Christiansen. He was an artist in the Künstler Colony Darmstadt, which is an artist colony that was set up to basically do designs for people. And yeah, and so yeah, he was also doing ceramics, but he did these glass designs here. And yeah, so these look a bit like René Mackintosh designs, and apparently he's famous for doing his roses like this, which are very like René Mackintosh, but obviously he was doing other very Art Nouveau work. This is ceramics. I think this is a cigarette. Is it a cigarette case? Yes, it's a cigarette case. So yeah, these are from 1903. He didn't start in the colony until 1898. So yeah, the fact that these glasses are all dated around 1900 says yeah, that date looks good. I can't find any direct pictures of his other work, so yeah, this is the best I can do at the moment. But you can see, yeah, some of these glasses, this one, they look like hot glasses, which is for German wine, and this one, yeah, so these are less so, but yeah, hot glasses, German wine, they're from Germany, makes sense. And he's got a Lalique glass in the middle, and he's got a couple of iridescence Lotus vases, a pair. This is the kralikglass.com website. So I realised when I was looking back at that, I said Lotus, but the label said Kralik, and I didn't read the label. So who is right? Now, in the Kralik glass section, I've been looking for things that were like that, and the answer's no. There's another, so that's the A through M, that's the N through Z. Can't find anything that's like that. This is a similar but not the same. I had a look at the Lotes one. They've got decor index. That's a no too. This is not the same. I had a look at it. Kind of isn't. This is not the same either. I'm just looking for something with a similar texture, because yeah, you've got green, but look, this is not like what we were looking at. Yeah, So I thought, who else can I trust? I went to the 20th Century Glass website. They have quite a bit of green. So Loads was, this is why in my head, Loads, we see a lot of green Loads. But yeah, the textures, probably this is the closest. Green Loads, Greta glass vase. But maybe it's the light, but it looks lighter, less heavy. When I did my Google search, this came up, which had a similar texture, but yeah, it's for sale by Etsy for £74, and yeah, don't trust it. Etsy's yeah, not genius. I tried looking for Kralik in Facebook. Yeah, the answer is I don't really know. Yeah, and I've actually in the Kralik glass. Where have I got? Here we go. In here, there's not only Loads. There's some other makers from the same area. Yeah, Palmkönig. Innsbruck, nope. Belts. Hang on, where's the visual decor? Yeah. Nobody's just like that. So you've got all these people with similar kinds of Art Nouveau, Czech Art Nouveau. None of them quite pinned down exactly the same. So what am I going to do? I think I'm going to say I'm not certain. They might be right. I might be right. I can't prove anything. If you're just going by the plain number of green vases, Loads is a winner, because if you go through theirs, they've got a lot. But yeah, that's no recommendation, is it? Okay, so yeah, that's the best I can do with that. Here's some more glass that you don't see much of because it's rare, expensive, difficult to make. So the silver on the surface is actually pure silver, and it's electroplated on, but it actually has thickness. So it's not just like a thin layer, you just keep electroplating it until it creates this thick layer. I think they use wax or something to stop it from getting onto the glasses, onto the glass where they don't want it, and something else to make it stick to the bits where they do want it when they start the plating. And once the plating gets going, it just builds up layer after layer until you have this, it looks like a basket framework that's actually got its own thickness, but it does take ages to do. This decanter here, Intaglio cut, so it's shaped like some of the hexagonal Whitefriars ones, but it's not. The overall shape is not quite right, but it's the quality is much better. It's fantastic, in fact. Look at even the stoppers, and I think that's cut on both sides. Let's see if I can cut it on the side. Yeah, to give it that lovely effect that you can see when I move around. Yeah, that is rather fantastic. So I thought I'd try and track down that hexagonal decanter. I typed in hexagonal decanter into the search, and yeah, it's like a desert of decanter images here for what I was looking for. Yeah, there's a few of this continental style ones. They've said probably Spanish. That one probably isn't, because it's made with the half post method, which is more of a Northern European style. But anyway, these are called Spanish cut decanters, which is kind of what the origins of that pattern is coming from, but it's not this. This is miles away. These are probably late 18th century, early 19th century, or something like that. So that's a no. So that didn't get me anyway. So I thought I would next concentrate on the intaglio cut pattern that was on it. And I have a booklet, and I thought, right, let's see if I can find a pattern that's similar. So I pulled out my booklet. So I pulled out this booklet, which is English rock crystal glass, 1878 to 1925. And yeah, the front cover has these little flowers on it that are very similar to the ones that we're looking at. I've had a look inside. This does appear, it's a claret jug, and it's by Stevens and Williams, and there are no other intaglio cut glass in here that has this same feature. And I'm thinking, maybe it's Stevens and Williams then. Let's see if we can drop into that rabbit hole. So I searched on Stevens and Williams decanters, and there were several with this pattern on, which is more examples of this flower cut that they've got. But also the other thing that appeared, I think this is the picture, yeah, this one here. Now, a different cut pattern, yes, but it's a hexagonal decanter, and it has a similar profile to the one that we were looking at. The pouring lip is a bit different, but this has a handle, which is a very Stevens and Williams type of thing to do, but the stopper is the same. The shape of the stopper is exactly the same as the one that we were looking at. So we have a decanter body and a stopper the same. So you can't say 100% on anything, but I would go with probably Stevens and Williams. There are other things in there. I'm just showing you the clearest things that are making me think it's Stevens and Williams. There are other things in there, but yeah, that's what I think. Might be wrong, so I would go with about 1900 and Stevens and Williams. This is funny, I jumped down here thinking I spotted some Whitefriars, and yeah, they're saying it's Whitefriars too. We can look in the book, try and pull these out. They're very nice. There's no green dot on them, so you won't be able to get those online, but they are very nice. Pair, very delicate. The book I'm looking at here is Whitefriars Glass, The Art of James Powell and Sons by Leslie Jackson. And the glass we're looking at is this one here, which is in a completely different colour. I know that. But anyway, 1880s to 1900, probably designed by Harry Powell. And the pattern number, that's the third one, 845. Now, I'm less worried about the colour because this one here is the same colour. These are the same. So they were using that colour. I've got other pieces in that colour. There's this one here as well, which is the same glass but with a frilly top. So yeah, I'm comfortable. It is this glass here. Proportionally, it looks like this one because they were very tall. So yeah, that's what they are, and they're very nice too. So I hope you enjoyed that. There's a few things I should point out. One, Hemswell Cliff is in the middle of nowhere in North Lincolnshire. Strange but true, but there are a lot of people there. There is plenty of parking there, okay? There is at least 2 cafes. There might be more, I don't know, but there's at least 2 cafes, and there are toilets, of course. So yeah, and they do sell things online, but I think I might have mentioned that in the film. So with that said, all the references for the video that I've used in the video will be in the description below. All the contact details and stuff that I've got for Hemswell Cliff will also be in the description below. And thank you for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe because it helps my channel expand, reach a bigger audience, because YouTube likes it The more people they have, the more people they will try and push it out to. And what else? Yes, so thank you for watching and have a good one. Thank you. Good night.